Hi, I'm Jono, and if you're new here, I do pencil drawings. I'm sitting here with Jess. Jess took on the challenge to try working with graphite. You've got a bit of experience with ink already, and you know that you can draw. You just haven't drawn with graphite before.
Yeah, I was scared of pencils for a long time. Didn't like them.
In spite of working for someone who exclusively works with pencils. What was your experience of working with graphite for the first time?
At first I was a little bit scared and I didn't really get it.
Have you come around? Do you like it now?
I love graphite now.
Amazing.
Yeah,
okay,
I
cool.
really enjoy it.
Okay, so in this video we're going to go through the process of how Jess decided that graphite was actually okay to work with. I can't believe you hated graphite. That's crazy.
I didn't get it. I just didn't get it.
So yeah, the whole experience that you've had over the last week, was it a week or just over a week?
Just over a week.
It's been incredible to see your growth, and I'm really excited to chat about the things that you learned along the way. Also, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, but we'll tell you more about them later.
So far I've chosen a reference photo. I've found a piece of paper. I've gridded the paper 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. I've got lots of tools. I've got a 2H mechanical clutch pencil. I have blending stumps. I have brushes. Hello.
Hi.
I'm listing tools for the video.
Nice. How's it going?
Good.
You haven't started yet.
I know, I need to do this because this is part of the video.
Okay.
Maybe procrastination, but who knows?
I think there's a lot of procrastination.
I know, but I haven't done the talking head, which is a big problem.
I want to try and jump into the first interesting bit, which was for me that you were afraid to actually start.
I think I was overthinking how detailed I needed to do the mapping, and I spent quite a long time on that because I just was worried about getting that perfect. Yeah, and then I jumped in because you forced me to. Strongly encouraged.
Like encouraged.
Motivated me.
Yeah. You did just need to find an area and start. And this is what I said in that moment, which was as soon as you allow yourself to start problem solving, you don't know what to do. So just start doing something, and doing the wrong thing is really helpful in those moments because you can bounce off of that and have a reference point to grow from. Our minds are very good at problem solving, and they're even better at problem solving when the problem is directly in front of us and we know what it looks like. But before you start, you don't even know what that problem looks like, which is why it was important for you to just create a problem to bounce off of.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to figure out what my barriers were. And one of those barriers was getting a dark enough tone.
How's it going?
It's good. I think I'm starting to relax into the medium now. So it's been like an interesting experience, especially because I've seen you do so much pencil drawing. So to have this like mind knowledge of how graphite is laid onto a piece of paper and then try it and then realize it's actually really hard.
It doesn't go the way that it goes in the videos.
It doesn't,
yeah.
no.
And it's also, I think in the previous video when I was chatting to James, I was talking about mileage. So like getting a ton of time with the medium so that you build this muscle memory and you build those like neural pathways of how to get the tones you're looking for. There's a lot of mileage that needs to happen, but we can definitely try and like create some shortcuts so that you aren't kind of beating your head against the wall. I brought you this brush. I saw the brushes you were using, and these are fine, but the bristles are really soft, and it will just take you a really long time to get the tones that you're looking for with these bristles. So I brought you this brush, which has like, if you feel those,
Oh, that's way
they're way harder, yeah.
Way harder.
So then you're also wanting to, like, if you experiment with this brush, see if you can just mimic what I've done there.
With this?
Yeah, with graphite powder. And I usually hold it a little bit closer so I have more control. Yeah. So small, close, large, far away. So you're gonna have a bunch of powder, excess powder that I had a bunch all around there and I blew it away.
I think that's what you're asking me to do.
Yeah, it is. I'm mostly just trying to see if you can get the same like dark value. So you've looked. Now trust that you know. You're just going dark in that shape. You've got that shape in your head.
Like that?
That's it. That's great. Now let's use the blending stump or the brush. Yeah.
I'm gonna use this brush.
Go very carefully with the side of the brush. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's the brush.
It's the brush.
Definitely the brush.
Okay, cool.
Makeup brushes are a game changer.
Yeah.
And you only discovered them like?
Only recently. Yeah, I've been using cotton wool to do this. Yeah. So you can do the same thing with cotton wool. You'll just get like a really tiny little piece, like this size.
Yeah, it's harder to control.
It's much harder to control. You want the brushes really accurate. Cool.
Thanks, Jono.
You're welcome. Good luck. So mark making is kind of the foundation of what we're doing. And you identify the marks that you feel are pleasing, and you kind of keep those going, or those are designated to a certain area of the artwork. And marks that you don't like, what's lovely about graphite is you can manipulate it to change the feel of different marks, which is what I really love. I'm really sensitive to the individual small marks which make up a texture, which then make up the volumetric body of the subject.
What was causing frustration in the beginning was I didn't know that I would get a texture to look the way I wanted it to, and so it only really became enjoyable when I could see the efforts of the steps being sort of realized. I think it clicked with the wrinkles when I added a line and then I softened it and then I added a highlight. I was like, oh, this is looking like skin.
Yeah.
And then I trusted the process.
Yeah. It must be so difficult coming into something like this without that guarantee. Whereas I've got 10 years of evidence. I might not know how to get the textures I want, but I know that I can problem solve it and figure it out. But coming in as a novice, there's a lot of bravery that you had to kind of dig into. Just not having the confidence or the knowledge, the experience to know that you're going to get this right.
But the inverse of that is that when you have your first breakthrough, it feels amazing.
It must feel so good. You know what? I still love it when I nail a texture. If I nail like these wrinkles here in a work of mine, and this here I absolutely love. But nailing textures like that, somehow that doesn't get old. And I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why I still love drawing after so many years, and realism for that matter as well. There's still that sense of joy and accomplishment to creating something like that. I don't know how to put it, but that really doesn't get old.
Like, I know I saw the photo, but I was very annoyed when I realized I had to draw all the wrinkles. There's a lot of wrinkles.
How did you, I mean, it's a huge element of the reference that you chose.
Yep. I'm really glad though, because learning how to do the wrinkles was really gratifying. It did take a lot of time, but I feel like there was a huge amount of growth. One thing that you taught me was like understanding the rule of an area, because I was looking at the reference photo a lot, especially in the beginning. I was trying to draw all the lines exactly how they were placed. Mm-hmm. And then I look at the end, which was the top forehead. I didn't really worry about the lines being exactly in the same place it is in the photo. I feel like I had more of an understanding of how to create skin texture.
Understanding that the success of a drawing like this is made up of the highlights and the shadows. Given that you choose a composition that has successful lighting, like this one does, you spend a little bit of time studying an area to establish what the shadows and highlights are doing. So we know that the light is coming in here on a larger level. We know that light is coming in from the right-hand side. But on a smaller level, the wrinkles and things, those indents, those are indents in the skin, and an indent is different to something that's sticking out, and that'll change the relationship that has with light. So you spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes studying your reference, studying a specific area and the rules of that area. I really like the way that you said that. You don't necessarily need to stick to your reference that much anymore, unless it's like a small departure that creates a little bit more life somewhere. Those little moments you develop with sensitivity and time and experience. But you clicked that really quickly. Yeah, I was really glad that I could articulate that point in the moment, and that you took it in, because I think it helped you kind of take a couple steps forward really rapidly.
Yeah, it helped me a lot. I also didn't believe you in the beginning. I didn't really see it. So it took me a long time to see it. When I realized you were correct and I saw the line and I saw the highlight, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to believe that it's true.
Yes.
And then put the highlight there, even if it doesn't look like as much of a highlight. And then I was like, oh shit.
I'm so glad. It's hilarious that you didn't believe me. And
I did not believe you. I didn't see the highlights and the shadows weren't as obvious in the reference photo, almost emphasizing the highlight and the shadow. Even if I didn't see it, ended up looking more like the reference photo than even like the pixels in the reference photo were like showing me.
That's such a huge thing as well. Like I'm so impressed with the takeaways that you took, because something that people who are really advanced struggle with as well. You become so married to your reference, and being able to have the confidence that what you are going to playfully execute will look better than what you're seeing in your reference
Yeah.
crazy. So good. And that's the secret, one of many secrets, but that's incredibly powerful confidence and experience to have moving forwards.
And then I really started enjoying pencil work more because I realized that I could figure out things in my own way.
Yeah.
And I had that breakthrough with the hair. I wasn't thinking about how to do it, almost giving myself the challenge of like, I'm gonna try this and see if it works.
Yeah.
And realizing that I think the hair is one of the areas I'm most proud of, and I enjoyed doing the most because I was experimenting.
I was so stoked when I came in and I saw that you had done the hair and the way that you had done it, because hair is something I really struggle with. And I was expecting to have to kind of hold your hand a bit more with the hair. I think one of the parts that I felt very involved in was with the skin texture. And I think that was very early on when you're still trying to find your feet and develop your relationship with graphite. Somewhere along the line you hit a roll and you found exactly what you're talking about, this playfulness, this experimentation, and almost this brazenness to just try something and see if it worked. And you absolutely nailed the hair. There was no input from me at all. Whatever you did, I don't know what you did, but it looks so good.
There was a tip you gave me just before I started the hair, which was protecting my highlights. I didn't really protect my highlights as consciously. The hair this time, I literally drew light circles around the highlights.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm not gonna get any graphite on this. As soon as I started shaping the graphite around and adding more of the lines, I was like, whoa, this is looking really 3D. And I realized it was because I was very conscious of protecting my highlights.
I can't stress it enough. I preach that to so many people, and I think you got there very, very quickly. A lot of people just don't understand how important it is.
I'm nearly finished. Kind of sad that it's ending. It's been really fun, and it's not something I get to spend as many hours on in my day-to-day. I was really excited to just draw. I've also just really enjoyed the learning experience. Hyperrealism takes a really long time, and it's very hard to motivate yourself to draw. And I think one hack I found is that I really care about the subject matter. This is a photo of my grandmother. I was living with her this year. And this was a year that she was looking after my grandfather. This was moments before she put him to bed. I didn't realize that it would be such a motivator, but it has been such a motivator for me to draw this to the best of my ability.
It can be very hard to dig deep and to push through those moments that you're struggling with. And for you, drawing someone who you love, admire, and who you're thinking about while you're drawing just meant that the entire experience of this, paying homage to her, was absolutely valuable and helped you push through.
You know, I really wanted to capture her personality, and I took this photo and she's looking at me. It's a moment that we shared. It was a really important year because it was the last year that my grandfather was alive. She was looking after him, and she also was very lonely, and me coming to Cape Town and living with her was a really important thing for her, but ended up being an incredibly important thing for me. I really admired her strength of character she had while she was looking after my grandfather. It's very difficult now because she's still alive, but she has dementia. This is almost the last time I remember my Nana being my Nana. It's been a way to kind of also process the fact that she's not really my Nana anymore.
Yeah. I think choosing this subject was perfect. And I think the fact that you did this drawing and had the breakthroughs and the moments, the subject choice played a role in that.
I really wanted this to be special. I really wanted to be proud of it and to also share it with my family who also love my Nana.
The memory is immortalized in a beautiful way, Jess. Yeah. What's crazy is that you wanted to do the subject justice and you wanted it to look like her. I've looked at the reference and your drawing has so much more life and so much more presence. It's got that X factor. You poured a lot more into this, and it's infinitely more valuable than the photo. I mean, the photo you took is special and beautiful. That's why you chose it. Your drawing it's got life, it's got essence, it's got soul.
Thanks, Rana.
Yeah, you did amazingly, and it shows.
I'm really grateful that I've been able to do this.
Yeah,
so
I'm
thank
grateful
you.
to have seen it. Before we end this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to this video sponsor, Squarespace. I've been working with them for a couple of years now, and they played a huge role in my career, not only in helping me maintain this channel by sponsoring this video, but more importantly, early on in my career, I was looking for a way to showcase my work, and I didn't have time to learn HTML, and the whole idea of building a website that did justice to what I wanted it to do seemed so daunting to me. I was looking for a way to show my work and a way to make it easy for collectors to find me and get in touch with me, and I found that Squarespace did that effortlessly. I never had to patch or upgrade anything. I could register a domain with them and set up an online store, and most importantly, I could design a portfolio and show my work the way that I wanted to. Also, every time I got stuck, their amazing support team helped me out instantly. So if you're looking to build a website, give Squarespace a try, and if you decide that you love them, use this offer code and get 10% point of your first purchase. Jess, it's been really cool to go through this experience with you. I'm so proud of what you've done. I feel like you exceeded everything that I thought this experience would hold. I hope you guys found this video informative or interesting at the very least. If you have any questions for Jess or myself, let us know in the comments. We like to keep an eye on those and we'll reply to as many of them as possible, or even make a whole video trying to describe an element that you'd like to see. So Jess, you're also going to be making another video for our fun channel, which is going to have a lot of behind the scenes moments and yeah, cool little things there. So subscribe to that channel. We'll put a link in the description if you want to see that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.